The card for this video is My Gold La Troca. Welcome to this video. Okay, so after beefing with my desktop for a second, we have got my screen recording up and running. This video is going to be me ranking Glee's season 1 one-liners. Now, these by any chance the best one-liners I could find? Probably not. If I tried harder, maybe I could find better ones, okay? But these are the ones I've decided to pick because I'm slightly lazy and I couldn't be asked to watch all of Glee again. I'm gonna start off by defining the tiers, okay? So first we have, yep, sure did. Any quote is like on the level of the iconic Quinn and Santana scene. If you get a summer surgery when you get your appendix taken out, you got a boob job. Yep, sure did.
You told Coach Sylvester about my summer surgery. You have a surgery when you get your appendix out. You got a boob job. Yep, sure did. You can't hit me. Well, sure I can, unless you got yourself knocked up again, slut. Stop the violence.
Hey, what is this? What happened to Miss Beta family? Hey!
Oh, please. She has a family. She's a mother. Walk away and tighten up your body before you get to class!
Next we have Porcelain. Who's there? Porcelain was an iconic nickname and I love that it stuck. And then third we have, and that's how we do it in Lima Heights.
Yeah, that's how we do it in Lima Heights.
That scene was iconic, yes it was. However, it gave us so much secondhand embarrassment that it cannot be top tier. So it's anything that was slightly embarrassing, mortifying while you were watching it, but it was still really funny. We have, yay, Glee kids, hooray!
Hey, Glee! Glee kids, hooray!
Anything that was kind of funny, but not that funny, okay? Next, you're all minorities because you're in Glee Club. Now,
because you're all minorities. You're in the Glee Club.
this isn't here because I think by any means these scenes are unfunny. It's because these are the kind of scenes that are offensive, but so funny. Bottom tier, we have trigger warning, Mr. Shoe. So this is just gonna be all Mr. Shoe lines. I found myself giggling and I was like, you can't do that. That's Mr. Shoe. You can't laugh. Also for lines that I just thought he said that were unhinged. Or anyone who was just that disgusting. First off, we have the scene that was the cover photo for this tier list on Tier Maker. Oh, Bambi. I cried so hard when your mother died. Because it's cut. Slay, immediately. I think it goes to... And that's how we do it in Lima Heights. Because with context, it was the alcohol episode, which was so unserious and not in the good way. It was embarrassing, but it was still really fun. Next we have, I have the use of my penis. This is one of the less atrocious things to come out of Artie's mouth in the whole show, but it was still atrocious, so I think it's gonna have to go in trigger warning, Mr. Shoe. I feel so bad. I don't think Artie is Mr. Shoe level horrible.
Ooh, I can't come down.
However, he is still horrible, so trigger warning, Mr. Shoe, he goes. Did you know that dolphins are just gay sharks? Now, this line was said by Brittany, and she has the best comedic timing I've seen of anyone in this show. Going to put it in Porcelain, even though the joke flew right over my head, but it was still funny because she has the best comedic timing, and you know that isn't true. Next we have, when I pulled my hamstring, I went to a misogynist. Again, delivery and comedic timing, I think it goes in Porcelain. Next, chicks don't have prostates, which was said, and Finn used this as an excuse for something I cannot remember. I think he said his mum had prostate cancer. It's just the funniest shot of these three guys in the football club holding, I think, guns, water guns or something like that, and then they just go, chicks don't have prostates, in the most serious tone ever, and Finn looking scared for his damn life. The cut from that just perfectly displays the kind of education the kids at William McKinley High get. I think this goes in Porcelain. Yeah, it feels Porcelain level funny. Next we have Asian vampires are the most vicious of all vampires. So many levels of funny. It just had layers to it, like an onion, you know? And I think this goes in... And that's how we do it in Lima Heights. Because it was also slightly not funny, but I also thought it was funny, so it's fine. Next, we have Bye White People. As you see that I had to say it was said by Artie, and It's just so funny. I think I put this in porcelain. Next, guys, it's like cool epilepsy. Brittany's face when she's saying this, it just adds so much. And again, like I say, her line delivery, Heather Morrison, kind of like slayed constantly with that line delivery. Like, and that was her first time acting. Like, she wasn't even supposed to be on Glee. Anyways, so I think this goes in. Yep, sure did. It almost went porcelain, but then I was like, that was really funny. I almost died of laughter. And then we have the scene that inspired the third tier. Yay, Glee! Glee Kids, hooray! Now, it was said by Emma, who is inherently not a very funny Glee character. However, that was hilarious. What made it was the pan to Sue's face, who was just like, and no clapping, a sound from the crowd. Yeah, okay. We have, I'm Kurt Hummel and I will be auditioning for the role of Kicker. This was just funny on so many levels. Deserves, I think, porcelain level. Yep. Now, we have this one that as soon as I saw this, when I was going through the compilation video that I'm going to tag below, no, I couldn't sit through that. So I stole this from someone on YouTube. I will tag them. I want a chance to get funky too. I was so taken aback when I saw this. The person that said this was Quinn. She said this with all the seriousness of her heart. It was really funny. And for that, she goes in, yep, sure did, because that was really funny. I might change my mind on some of these as I'm going along. Let me see. Yeah, chicks don't have prostates. I knew it. You're in love with Kurt. This line was clickbait for all the people out there who are avid flirt shippers. It was kind of clickbait for them. You know, it was kind of queerbaiting. But it also wasn't, because we all knew that storyline was never going to happen. Now, trigger warning, it's Mark Salem, okay? Mark Salem sucks. However, his line delivery was really funny. The more offensive ones, which feels very telling of his future, but the funnier ones. I give this, and that's how we do it in Lima Heights, because of the repercussions. This is not exactly a one-liner or a line or a dialogue or anything that was on Glee, which is funny. I remember watching the first episode. I've watched the first episode so many times because I've tried so many times to rewatch the show, yet every single time I stop midway through the first episode because I realize how unbearable Rachel is, and I stop. I've watched that so many times and it makes me laugh every single time. If I were your parents, I would sell you back. I didn't realize when I was first watching that was Quinn. I almost said Finn. And it has all the meanness and cleverness of High School Musical. Next comment just says, I'm going to scratch my eyes out. It's just good, classic, original. I feel like for that reason it deserves, yep, sure did, level. It was funny, okay, it's slayed. She said this is her son. Upon the first 2 watches of Glee, I had no idea what that meant. And I was like, I'm not sophisticated enough. But then I realized, like most jokes, it flew right over my head. The fact it's just like a one-liner, it isn't spoken about, no one says anything. It just gives it, yep, sure did, level. And it was said by Chris Colfer, who just stays hilarious. You're a slut, Will. You're a slut, you're a slut, and it keeps going. And Emma just slut shames Will Schuster in front of the whole faculty, you know. I'm gonna put this immediately in Glee Kids, yay, Glee Kids, hooray. I feel like that tier is just all Emma lines. It just deserves to be all Emma lines, you know. Because it's like, oh my god, Emma actually said a good line for once. Oh, look at the little staircase we have going down. Next, we have a line that makes that staircase almost perfect. In 3 years, you'll be cleaning my septic tank. When I first watched this, I was a naive child. I didn't realize it wasn't the sleigh that I thought it was back in the day. Was it? No. Slightly classist, but it was really funny in the moment. Who is Josh Groban? Kill yourself! I'm like a 15-year-old fangirl, you know, going, oh my god, you don't know who Harry is? Kill yourself! I'm that 15-year-old fangirl, okay. It's the facial expressions of people working behind the camera in Glee Season 1, they need a raise. They go from the teacher, and then they pan to the other guy's face, and it looks like he's about to take him up on that offer. Hilarious. Because of how funny it is, it does belong in. Yep, sure did. He's a spy, Mr. Shu. I would know. I only put this in because it's a crime. Santana didn't get that many lines in season 1. Do you know I watched a compilation video of all her lines? I think I got like 3 lines out of her. I squeezed 3 lines out of her. And that was one of the best lines I could get out of her. I think this should go in. And that's how we do it in Lima Heights. Because it's embarrassing that the writers didn't leave Santana enough lines that she could have done a better one-liner than that, it's still funny regardless.
I'm pretty sure my cat's reading my diary.
This is a mega slate because first of all, this is the first appearance of Mr. Tubbington in the show. Second of all, it's Brittany.
It's Brittany. Bitch.
Our bi icon. I love her so much. Love her with my whole heart. Like, I would give my left ventricle for Brittany. Girl, you've got more curves than a Nissan ad. There's so many reasons why this immediately goes into you're all minorities because you're Glee Club. The way it was said, the person it was said by, there's barely been any in that you're all minorities. There's gonna be more. I promise there's more. No, William, I'm not allowed within 50 feet of children. This line was completely out of context, but I do know the context. I don't know. I don't even want to go into that because that's one of the scarier plot lines from Glee. But it was put out as funny, but it's terrifying. I think I'm gonna put this in Yay Glee Kids Hooray. Oh my god, look, we've literally got a perfect staircase going on here. I definitely didn't pick random ones in the lineup so I could do that on purpose. It's gonna stop looking like that, so I'm gonna have to make my peace with the fact it's gonna stop looking like that in a second. Print screen that. Next we have, where I cry, you need something to distract from your horrible personality. This immediately, I don't care what anyone says, this immediately goes to, yep, sure did. Kurt said it, and he said it to Rachel. Just that alone on its own is perfect. Rachel is an interesting character that I just wish wasn't on Glee. So many reasons. I really don't like her. I really don't like her. I really don't like her. Anyways, yes, you should move to Israel. That was another one of the lines I had to squeeze out of Santana. I'm gonna put that in porcelain because it was still kind of funny. It was a shame I had to squeeze that out of the showrunners. It was funny. It was funny nonetheless. I think this was a really funny interaction that no one talks enough about. Will walks into Sue's office. Sue says, keep your strength up. Keep your strength up while you menstruate. Goes, I don't menstruate. And then she goes, yeah? Well, neither do I. It's with all the seriousness. Yeah, well, I don't understand you women either. So I think it goes straight to, yep, sure did. We don't have enough Sue quotes on here. I think season 1 wasn't everyone's season. It was still one of the more iconic ones, but we didn't get enough one-liners. The writers really grew into their own in season 3. Season 3? Crazy. Anyways, a line that makes me wish I didn't exist along with Glee and along with this line. I wish all 3 of us would just not be here. Watch out, black girl from Glee whose name I can't remember. I feel like I made this tier with this exact line in mind. Is it really, really funny? Does it make me want to like keel over laughing? Yes, but the look in Park's eyes as he's watching Mercedes over the dumper. She's singing with them in the car park for some reason, God knows why. And she returns that look across the car park with a look of intense fear in her eyes, going, Girlie was fearing for her life, and I would be too if Mark Saling looked at me like that. Oh my god, is the baby black? I feel like that also goes in the you're all minorities because you're in Glee Club here. It's more offensive because I can't tell. It feels like a microaggression. It isn't a microaggression, it's something different. It's where she says it with all the seriousness in her bones that I can't tell if she's scared that Terry is cheating with someone who's black, or she's scared about the fact the person that Terry is cheating with is black. Like, she just doesn't care about the cheating, she just cares about the fact that the baby might be black. In its own is hilarious, but terrifying. It's a terrifying thought. This is where our daughter or our gay son will sleep. And that goes straight to porcelain. I almost put it into, yep, sure did, but I feel like I have too many up there. Because I did let out a little giggle, a little guffaw when I saw that, you know? And it's like the same vibes as gay son or thought daughter, you know? That question. Next we have, that's the one they made me talk to when they found the bird in my locker. With this whole tier list, I think what makes it more funny is the implications of the line. The implications of this line are that Brittany had a bird in her locker at some point, and people knew about this, and she was still one of the most popular people at school. She had to go talk to Emma about it. I think it goes to that, and that's how we do it in Lima Heights. Actually, porcelain. Some of the reactions of the people in the Glee Club just screamed, are we just not going to say anything about that? And they just never do. And you know what? That's what I love about Glee Club. They say and do the most unhinged things, yet you never hear a word about it. You know what Wednesday is? Hump day. Because it's Mr. Shu, I'm not going to discuss this. It goes straight to trigger warning, Mr. Shu. No words from me. No more words from me. Now, we have one of the more illegal lines from Emma. This is Emma's reaction, by the way, to a student who might be suffering with bulimia. Rachel goes, I guess I just don't have a gag reflex. And Emma goes, when you're older, that will turn out to be a blessing. I just feel like it has you're all minorities because you're in Glee Club kind of energy. You know? It's a bit too patronizing for me, but it's also really inappropriate at the same time. I'm just gonna leave it there for that reason. I'm no further discussion. Point blank period. I'm not gonna discuss why I feel like that was wrong. We should have had more Sue lives, but this one was hilarious. Should Sue have been arrested for half the stuff that she did on that show? Yes. However, was this one of the funniest lines I've ever heard on television? Yes. Now that section is looking a bit heavy, and I don't want to say any more on the matter. Lastly, finishing off with a bang, we have to think more like Amazonian black women. First of all, let's just move it there. I feel like the main reason I find them funny is because I like to think of the implications of that. Is he trying to say he knows Amazonian women, first of all, and second of all, that he knows Amazonian black women? Also, I just have a feeling that he says Amazonian black women because he thinks the Amazon is in Africa. And if that is true, that speaks volumes for the William McKinley High education system. And with that, we finished the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. I spent forever editing and planning this. Just say goodbye to La Troca, the car of the video, as we know. Look at him, gorgeous. I like to joke that this channel isn't a democracy, but it 100% is. And if you have any ideas for YouTube videos, anything you want me to do, I'm a people pleaser, so I will 100% do it. However you like, whenever you like. And I will leave a link to the videos I watched to get these quotes. Bye!